Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the Scottish countryside, and today we've come to a special place because today we've come to the little Scottish town of Kirriemuir, folks, and this is the town that I used to live at, and I grew up here, went to school in this town, and this is a cool little start to the video. I've come to look at some of the wee historical wonders here at the Kirrie Hill, just on the far outskirts of the town. But the first place I've come is crazy for me to see, because this here used to be the BMX track. You can see where the jumps had been, but it's just so different now to how it used to be. It's just insane for me to come back. It's like an abandoned scene that I can appreciate. There used to be a massive starting hill here, and we used to stand on top of it, and we used to hang about here all the time when we were young in Kirriemuir, like in the Northmuir area. But I remember that was the first jump there. That was where all the biggest tricks got put down, folks, because you got the most air after having the speed of being on the starting hill. But yeah, it's sort of sad to see it the way it is now. It used to go right around the bottom and then back up the side and then loop down, and then there was a row of like 4 whoops there, and then that was the final jump, and it came back around to the massive starting hill, which is just all gone now, folks. It's just a slight remains of what it was, and it used to be like clay type of sandy stuff, and there was tyres right around the side of it. But it's a different era now, even in BMX and stuff like that, folks. It's like, now it's all about skate parks and street riding and stuff, and originally back in the BMX game it was like full send round a track, seeing how much air you could get on the jumps and stuff like that. But even when we went to the school here in Kirriemuir, we used to do cross-country running around this hill, and I remember my mate fainted down here at the foot of this jump, because there used to be a path right around here. When he fainted, we all came running around the corner and like over the top of him. It's crazy scenes, folks, crazy memories coming to a place like this. And we've spent so much time in Kirriemuir over the years. I think we're going to come and do more local kind of videos in the Kirriemuir area, because it's so interesting to see, folks. Yeah, there's a little building here we'll go and have a look at first. It's insane history here in Kirriemuir with famous folk like J.M. Barrie. He was the author which wrote Peter Pan and other world famous plays. He was from Kirriemuir, and he did a lot here at Kirriemuir for the town and for the local people. He even built a camera obscura over there, which we'll probably look at in a future video. But yeah, there's like some rare things, and I'm not even sure when this little pavilion here was built. Probably, I can't even remember, it's been so long since I visited here, folks. 1918 I think the plaque says, so we'll just see how good my memory is, because it's been a good few years. So just check out the character of this little pavilion here, folks. It's 4-sided, so like if the wind's blowing a certain way, you can always get shelter at the opposite side. And look at this, the James Wilkie of Appin Memorial Shelter, 1928. So that just shows you, I was thinking 1918, but it's crazy. 1928, folks, and that's when they really cared about building things. Look at the ironwork around the outside of it. It's the sort of thing, often if you're local, you would walk past stuff like this and not even think nothing of it. But yeah, when you come back and see it, it's such a cool construction. It's actually metal. That whole thing is metal. And that's maybe the reason it's lasted so long up here on the hill, through all the vandalism and stuff. It's cool to see it still standing here strong. Yeah, I can't believe the rain, folks. It's limiting the adventure. There's actually a cool old standing stone over here that we'll go and have a look at now. There's a cool network of paths around Kirriemuir. It's got one of the best path networks, I would say, for like the Angus towns. And that big standing stone is just along the top here. The Kirriemuir cemetery and stuff's over that way, and the Quarry is over here. Massive quarry, red sandstone. And there's like literally a cliff, probably about 100 metres over there, it just drops into the quarry. But yeah, I'm wanting to see this standing stone. It's been years since I've even been along this way. I can't believe how heavy this rain is though, folks, but that's what we're about on this channel. I'm bringing you content which is like all weathers, real adventures right here. And look at this view across the valley. It does look a little bit misty today with that rain, but yeah, here's the ancient stone. Yeah, this is mental, folks. I love history like this. Just think how old this massive standing stone is. From the end, when I was approaching, it was like, I thought it was just quite a narrow, tall stone, and then you come to the side of it, and wow, it is massive. This is one of many standing stones which were around the Kirriemuir and Quarry area, and a lot of them were actually moved by farmers and destroyed, and they're actually just lying other places now. But this is one which I think is potentially on its original site, and then there's still another one behind Kirriemuir in the field, but apparently it has been moved from its original site. But some of these standing stones like this one here and that, these predate the Pictish standing stones which you see around on previous videos even. I do apologise for rain on the lens, folks. I'll keep drying it, try and keep the quality the best I can here. But yeah, the Pictish stones was from a later time, once they were like teaching Christianity to the nation and stuff. A lot of these stones were put in place when it was like barbarians and stuff running across these hills. You can see how it's built on the prominent land looking out, and the view around here is just insane. Here's a sign about it. I'll just do a quick scan with the camera and then anybody can pause the video if they're interested. So from further back here you get an aspect of the size of that stone. It's absolutely massive. It's a massive chunk of what appears to be sandstone. Yeah, I just thought I would come and have a look over this incredible view at this side, but today it is unfortunate we can't see too far. This is the edge of that cliff that I was talking about. Massive quarry there, which is basically half this hill's just been dug out and taken away. And at one time that quarry on the Kirrie Hill here used to be twice as deep, but for a lot of years it was like the local landfill where all the rubbish and stuff got tipped, so it filled up, and then eventually they covered it over. That's what happens with a lot of old quarries and landfills and stuff like that. Yeah, it used to be a massive quarry area, folks, a big operation at one time. And a lot of the red houses and buildings that you see around Kirriemuir and the local area, the stone was actually gathered from that quarry and taken on horseback. Massive big mansions like Quarry House and stuff like that. Wow, it is so cool to be back in the Kirriemuir area though, folks. If there's any Kirriemuir viewers, get in the comments. If there's any cool locations around here you would like to see in a video, just drop it in the comments and we'll probably take a look. Because I think I'm going to come back here with the channel DJ one day and yeah, look at some more of the cool areas. Like today it's raining, so I'm just keeping this adventure kind of under sheltered areas like in the trees here. So look at that for a spring scene, folks. Almost summer. And the forest floor here next to the cemetery wall is just awash with this blue. And the smell is just incredible. The smell of all these petals and all the pollen. They're trying to entice the bees and wasps in. Yeah, look at this. This is the back wall of the cemetery, folks. This is quite an old end of this cemetery here. The cemetery here at Kirriemuir is so big, we could almost do like a whole video exploring around here. Yeah, some of the graves are ancient, like 1800s, that one there, I could see it. Yeah, that's the first one I've even looked at. You can just imagine if the graves are that old, like how old that old like iron fence and stuff must be. It's crazy. Yeah, it's a cool scene. And also, an interesting fact about this graveyard, that's where J.M. Barrie is actually buried. The famous playwright and author and famous Kirriemuir person. One of the most famous people that's ever come from the town of Kirriemuir, I would say. But another famous person from this town is Bon Scott from AC/DC, folks. That has got a big following here in Kirriemuir, and they have like an annual Bon Scott Day. and that was literally like 2 weeks ago or whatever. So yeah, check it out folks. I can't believe the scene now, everything's green. And throughout this episode I just have to apologise once again because I can see raindrops on the lens folks, and yeah, it's crazy weather. Look at this here folks, the way the graveyard wall curves round and the graves are all built on the corner. The character of this graveyard here is almost like eerie. It's a spooky scene. And I'm just going to do a circuit and we're going to take a walk through the actual quarry. It's going to be cool. I've not walked through any area in Kirrie for so long. It's refreshing folks. But there is a bit of a breeze around here. So yeah, I'll update you once we're further round. So look at this here folks, this must be remains of like an old bench or something that's been there. I've noticed around the town of Kirriemuir recently they've taken away a lot of the benches and stuff, and I remember when I was young and we stayed around, a lot of the retired people used to go for walks and then sit on the bench for a rest and go all the way around Kirrie, and like now the old people don't have that opportunity for the simple thing of putting a plank of wood on as a bench. It's like such a cool thing for the community. And literally the council's done away with the benches, and they used to be all around the pavements on the outskirts of Kirrie. Yeah, that's something I've noticed folks. Look at this, there's actual sandstone bedrock we're standing on, and that shows that was the reason they were quarrying this hill folks. It's a solid nugget of sandstone. When I lived in Kirrie, all these houses weren't here, or they were getting built back then, but like originally this was all quarry land here and landfill, and these houses here, foundations are actually on landfill, which is a crazy thing folks. But yeah, this is insane to see how places can change even within a decade or whatever. Landscapes and everything just changed so much. New things get built and old things fall down folks, and new history is written, and this is such a cool path into the quarry. I'm not sure if these stones have been here since the days of the quarry workers. I don't think they have been. Yeah, you can see mounds of like spoil and stuff, which is the remnants of the quarry. Wow, yeah, look at that sandstone rock face right there folks. The landscape is crazy here. Wow, this is a paradise folks. I always say it in my videos, but like once everything gets green and the nature comes back to life, everything just looks alive again. Now we're down below the level of the quarry. That's where we were up there at the Standing Stone. And yeah, I'm wanting to see this massive cliff face here because it's insane. And just think, this used to be more than twice as deep as what it is now. Yeah, I can see nettles just starting to grow everywhere here. It won't be long folks before our adventures are hindered from the amount of bushes and stuff growing. It's harder to explore certain places without like having to climb through stuff. Yeah, wow, this cliff face here is just so cool. Just think the houses and buildings that's been built out of this stone. It's a special place for the local town of Kirriemuir. It's crazy to think humans can take all this stone from a hill and just build so many houses and buildings. Yeah, it's just absolutely solid sandstone. Often in sandstone you can see like sedimentary layers, but yeah, this is some chunks of sandstone right here. There is actually layers. Now I'm looking at it for longer, there's bits with pebbles and stuff through it. I think this is also a popular spot for people coming like rock climbing and stuff like that. Wow, this is insane. Look at it, just juts out here. It's massive. It's almost like a coastal looking cliff, but here it is inland here. The crazy little town of Kirriemuir folks. It's almost like right in the heart of Angus, and it's the gateway to the glens. Most of the local glens around here start at Kirriemuir. Yeah, it's insane. Look how long this cliff goes folks. It's way over to the far end. I forgot how actually big this whole quarry was, folks. It's like, it's blowing my mind coming back here. Yeah, look, we can see remains of where people's been climbing up. Yeah, let's take a closer look at this sandstone, folks. This is crazy. Look, you can see sedimentary layers with pebbles in them. So at one time this rock here would have been like at the bed of the sea, and then from the movement of the Earth's plates, and this has been pushed, and it ends up going like wrinkly, and then that's how you get to see the fissures running up and down at funny angles. The ground itself gets pushed like that, like an accordion. And yeah, there's some crazy pebbles in some of those sections, like, wow folks, it is cool to take a closer look at the red sandstone. Even like sometimes, like you would just think it's a rock cliff, and when you look a little bit closer, there's so many layers to it. It unlocks the whole like rabbit hole of geology, folks. This is crazy. I had totally forgotten how massive this was. I might get a photograph of it for this angle though. Yeah, I forgot how big this quarry was, folks. Insane scenes. The red sandstone with the green grass, folks. It's a crazy combination of colours there from the natural world. And yeah, it's been epic just to come around here and look at this. It's cool just to go to one like area of a town and just see what's there. Yeah, next time we'll go somewhere else around Kirrie when we visit. And maybe even we'll go to some other towns around Angus or anywhere in Scotland. Wherever we go, folks. That's what this channel's all about. Literally, whatever adventure we're on here, spontaneous, and it's just a large variation. And it looks like there's a choice of paths here, folks, so I'm going to take this one here. It's all about the adventure. And then also documenting history like this. It looks like a cliff, but it's actually the story of a quarry, and there's a whole history to that too. So, yeah, I didn't even think when I left the house today that I was about to look at something like this. I didn't even know what I was going to be seeing. It's been cool, folks. I'm pretty sure the main road used to come up where the lorries and that would come. They would drive up the side there, and there was like a road up the side of the field. A proper road. Yeah, I don't know where. They must have had little sheds and stuff and weigh bridges, and there must have been, I don't know, like machine sheds and stuff you would think. Diggers and whatever other old machines they had. A lot of stuff would have been steam back in those days. Maybe manpower and horsepower, folks. And it's crazy to also think of the history that could be buried below our feet if it had been a landfill for that many years. Wow. It's like on a dry day it would be probably easy enough to climb bits like that. But on a day like today, folks, it's super slippy. Check this out. I love the character of a place like this when it's got all the moss and stuff on the rocks. The colours are just insane. Yeah, look at the colours of that, folks. Yeah, this must have been the end of it, but from the looks of things, that whole hill is just solid sandstone, so they could have probably kept going. But markets and stuff move on, and companies move on, and it's crazy how a thing like that just shuts down. Yeah, look, even here it's like a solid cliff. Super dangerous, but it's cool to explore new places, folks. I think I was here years ago, but yeah, it's refreshing to come here and video it. Share the history of Kirriemuir with the world. Even though it's just a small bit of Kirriemuir here at the North Muir, it just shows the beauty of a wee Scottish town like this, hidden in the wild landscapes of Scotland. And this is such a steep hill here, folks. I don't know if I'm going to make it up. Looks like I might have potentially come the wrong way for like a casual walk. I'll use this barbed wire fence to pull myself up. Look at that, folks, barbed wire. Yes, we've made it. And then this is the corner of like, there's a water tank and stuff up here, I think, Scottish Water. They probably had to blast a hole in the rock as well to make that. Yeah, I've never been on this particular path before. Looks like somebody's had a wee camp spot here. So that's been crazy, folks. We've just done a full circuit of the quarry. And then this is the water tank here on the side of the hill. I remember when we were little, we used to think this was some sort of secret underground bunker back in the day. But sure enough, it's like a Scottish water tank. And you see these getting all over the countryside. Yeah, this view is just insane. It's like the rain's starting to maybe go off a little bit, I think. It's been so heavy throughout this whole adventure. I just tried to go on kind of a sheltered route, but the things we've looked at, it's been so cool. Little windmill going there, folks. That must be for them powering, I'm not even sure what, maybe their computer system that sends the information down to their headquarters. So this land here, folks, at the Kirriemuir Hill where the quarry and that is, that's Quarry Estates land there. Same with this rough land at the top of the cliff. I do apologise for the wind in this episode too, folks. Here's something, folks, the wind started blowing even stronger and the rain's come on heavy again. But look, I've just found a trig point here, up on top of this cliff. Look at it. That's what you call a trig point, which is the highest point on the hill, marked on an ordnance survey mark. And literally, this is the Strathmore Valley we're overlooking here. It's like Kirriemuir, Chequyfield, and then on to like Forfar. Crazy scenes, folks. But yeah, it's cool. I just thought I'd update you there. Trig point, folks. Yeah, ordnance survey benchmark S7053. There we go, folks. Cool. It's kind of a bit of history, but it's more just a map marker, a land marker. So maybe people in 1,000 years will find this stone here and think it's a standing stone, because the other one is literally just over there. So maybe at one time those standing stones were like a trig point of their era. Maybe the ancient folk had maps and the highest hills were marked the highest points with a stone. Who would know, folks? But yeah, I was just imagining that as I walked away. There'll be people in 1,000 years finding that and thinking, oh, it's marking something really important here. But they won't be sure what it is. Not unless Ordnance Survey like still has maps in 1,000 years, folks. There you go, there's the monster, which is the Kirriemuir Hill standing stone. And yeah, we're just making our way back to the car. I just thought I'd record that on the way past. I'm trying to think if there's any paths we can go. Oh, here's one right here. We're in luck, folks. So here we go, folks. We've made it back to this little pavilion. And what a cool place to end the video. We're taking shelter in this 1928 pavilion. It's still offering shelter from the worst of weathers. You can just imagine the people that might have sat here over the years, looking out over this view. Probably before these trees were here. Again, you'd be able to see an incredible scene all the way around here. But yeah, folks, it's been cool. It's been something different. We've been on the edge of a town here at Kirriemuir, checking out some ancient history. But yeah, I'll end it here, next to this 1928 James Wilkie Memorial Shelter here. And yeah, see you soon for the next one, folks.